Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to do my very best during this video to not cry. In 18 days, my firstborn will be turning 1. And the reason I say my firstborn is because I have 3 kids, and my firstborn passed away 4 hours after I gave birth to him. And a lot of people think my daughter is my firstborn because that's who they see me with all the time. That's who they've always seen me with. But no, my firstborn, his name is Joshua. He passed away 4 hours after he was given birth to in my arms. And his birthday is coming up in 18 days. He should be 5 years old. And every year around his birthday, it's very tough for me. It's hard because I think about all of the things that I want for him, with him, things that I want to see, things that I want to do, things that I want him to enjoy, things that I want to enjoy with him. I think about him riding his bike. I think about him getting ready to start school. I think about him talking, walking, laughing, eating. What kind of food would he like? What color would he like? What cartoons? What movies? What activities? What interests? What sports? What games? These are all thoughts that cross my mind all the time, but in particular around the time of his birthday. You know, this is a big birthday. 5 is a big birthday. At 5 years old, you get to start going to school, regular school, not daycare, but big school, and you go and you get a backpack and your uniforms and your new school shoes, and it's so exciting, and you get to meet your teacher, and now you're a big kid. You're not a baby anymore. You're not a toddler, not an infant. You know, you're a big kid. Not big, but you know, you're still considered a big enough kid that you have just a little bit more freedom. You can go outside a little more now. You get a little later of a bedtime. Instead of going to bed at 8, you can go to bed at 8:30. And, you know, it's exciting because at this age and this stage, this is when they really start getting socialized because they're in school, and they really get that feel of the school, of the reading, the writing, the math, the science. And, you know, my son isn't going to do these things. And it just eats at me. On the inside, it eats me alive to think about the fact that he will never get to start kindergarten. He will never get to graduate from elementary school. He doesn't get to go to middle school. He doesn't get to go to high school. He doesn't get to go to prom or football games or play sports or watch movies or listen to music. He doesn't get to have interest or enjoy any of the earthly things. He doesn't get to fall in love and have a wife and have kids and have a life of his own. He doesn't get to become his own person because he was only 4 hours old. And I thank God for those 4 hours because not every mother gets 4 hours. Some mothers get 10 minutes. Some mothers get 5. Some mothers get no minutes. Some babies die in the womb. Some mothers don't even get to see or hold their children. So I thank God for my 4 hours. I would give anything in the world if I could have longer than those 4 hours. But I am grateful for them. And I look around at some of the women that have kids who don't want their kids, or who abuse their kids, or who hurt their children, or who beat their children, or who abort their children. And I just don't understand that way of thinking. Mind you, I'm not judging because everybody makes the best choices that they can as a parent. But I personally cannot understand. I cannot understand for one moment how you could think to hurt a child, especially if you're that child's mother. I cannot for one moment imagine causing my child physical pain, emotional pain. I cannot for one moment of my life think to do anything to my children but love them, but care about them, but give them my all, but do everything I can to make sure that they are successful and happy, wonderful people. Cherish your children. Love your children. Teach your children. Respect your children. Children are what make the world go round. They are truly the future. And everything we teach them, everything we do for them, with them, and to them, they remember and they learn. If you love and nourish and encourage and teach a child, they become a beautiful, wonderful, smart, well-adjusted, independent adult. If you teach your children rules and regulations and discipline, they will be a respected adult, and they will be a well-respectful child. And that's important. People forget that their children are the most important thing in their lives once you have them. And they truly, truly are. All of these mothers who say, well, I have a kid, but, I can still have a life. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Your children need to be your first thought, your first priority, your first everything. And everything after that will just fall into place. My children, well, God, and then my children come first in my life. Every decision I make, every choice, every option, every day of my life revolves around how will this affect them. I don't go out on a limb and just make stupid, rash decisions. And I'm 27 years old. There are times where I just want to go out and do something stupid and reckless, and I don't, because I know that in the end it will affect my children. I know that everything that I do, everything that I say, every choice that I make, every action affects them. And I am so grateful for mine because I know what it is to lose one. I know how it feels to bury a child. The day that I buried my son, that I watched them put his body in a hole in the ground, was the most devastating day of my life. You have no idea what it feels like to watch somebody put your child in a box and bury them in the ground. My knees gave out and my world literally crumbled around me. The moment the nurse came in and my son was cold and they announced him dead, part of me died inside. And these women, and I use the term women loosely because truly they're animals who choose to beat, to rape, to touch, to molest, to kill, to starve, to burn, to neglect their children, are the worst kind of creatures and people imaginable. How dare you take for granted something as precious, as wonderful, as loving, as amazing as a child? Do you understand that I would bend over backwards, walk on water, do cartwheels and anything and everything else to get 5 more minutes with my son? And you have the audacity to turn your back on your children, to mistreat your children, to hurt them. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, I might offend some people with this video. And I try not to offend anyone. I'm very much so a live your life kind of person. But this is something that I truly feel strongly and passionate about. I love my kids. And I can't understand a mother who doesn't love their children. I can't understand a parent, a father who hurts, who beats, who molests, who abuses, who leaves his children. I cannot for one moment imagine my babies walking around and not knowing them, not loving them, not being there for them, not caring for them. But it has to do with my upbringing. I have a very strong, beautiful, incredible mother who loves us and who would do anything in the world for us. And perhaps that is why I am the way that I am. But maybe, just maybe, we need more mothers like that. We need more mothers who focus on their children, who pay attention to their children, who put their children's needs and well-being above their own. Please don't mistake what I am saying. If you're a mother and you go to work, kudos for you. I'm a mother. I work every day. If you're a mother and you go to school, fantastic. If you're a mother and you're doing everything in your power to brighten your child's future by bettering your life, good for you. The mothers that I'm talking about are the mothers who leave their kids with anybody and everybody just so that they can go out, who pretend that they don't have children, who leave their kids in the house by themselves so they can go outside and talk and hang out and be with every Tom, Dick, and Harry around the block. The mothers that I'm talking about shouldn't call themselves mothers. They should basically call themselves babysitters. Some of these women out here are so worthless. There are so many worthless mothers that nobody talks about, who leave their children sitting in filth and feces all day long, who don't feed them, who don't care for them, who don't build their self-esteem and confidence. Shame on you. Shame. You have no idea what it feels like to lose a child, and yet you choose to take yours for granted. Think before you act, especially when it comes to your children. For those of you who love your children, who work hard for your children, who devote yourself to your children, who would give anything to see them happy, you don't get enough credit. Motherhood is hard, and good for you for taking it in strides and doing the best you can. Parenthood is hard. So for those of you who stick around and tough it out and love your kids, God bless you and your kids. Because you are the ones that really, really make a difference in this world. You are truly the real MVP. For anybody who is offended by this video, congratulations, you are a crappy parent. For those of you who understand where I'm coming from, thank you for seeing it my way. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments about this video, please feel free to comment. If you enjoyed it, follow me on YouTube, like any of my videos, give me the thumbs up, and I'll see you soon.